Welcome back to Quiet Minds, Rich Lives, everybody. My name is Michael. I'm your host. In today's episode, we have a guest on here. Her name is Bethany. We met through a podcast, Facebook group, forum, thingamajig, and we're just going to keep it off script, off kind of on topic with recovery and life in recovery after addiction and anything in that spectrum, and just how it affects people's finances individually and their experiences and our experiences. Bethany, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you. I'm so used to having my own guests. This
You're
is my
okay.
first guest appearance, and I appreciate you asking me. I feel honored. Uh,
I appreciate
yeah,
you being on here. I
yeah,
greatly appreciate it.
absolutely. And I believe 100% that finances is a huge part of healing and trying to create a life of abundance after addiction, right? Like you have to have some kind of stability when you're out there on drugs, which I was for a long time since I was a kid. Um, and then, after that, it was like, well, what do I do? I knew I had to work. So I was working, but all that money went to
Just fueled it.
BS. I don't know
Yeah.
how kid friendly your podcast is, so I
It's
will.
not really kid friendly.
Okay,
Not
okay,
with what
cool.
I talk about. You're okay. You're
Because I
okay.
might drop an F-bomb or something.
That's
Um,
fine.
okay, cool.
If
Um,
kids stumble across it, that's on them. But I put it, it's
right.
not kid friendly or stuff like that. It had
Okay,
to be
okay,
18 or
cool.
older because of the
All
subject
right.
matter that we talk about on the
Yeah,
show.
yeah. So I really appreciate that you've been able to kind of, I like your concept that, being in recovery, uh, comes with a lot of obstacles because we're dropped into a lifestyle that other people have had decades to prepare for, as
Right.
far as stability. And so, um, not having debt, building a good credit file, trying to own assets, things like that. Those are things that just don't come across our minds when we're out there, you know?
Correct. And I'm sorry, I'm looking at my other monitor real quick because there's something I want to say in regards to what you just brought up. So Bethany here, do you mind if I give you a shout out?
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, go
All right. So
please.
Bethany here is also a host of a podcast called Addictive Personalities. And the way we met was that I was looking to, I guess, be a guest on someone else's podcast, but I guess I had the hashtag wrong. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't know. Maybe someone else misinterpreted it. But Bethany reached out to me on there and dropped her podcast in there. And I forgot what happened with that whole conversation. But, anyways, she just encouraged me to start my own. On the same day, my wife lit a fire under my ass saying that you should start a podcast. You should
Yeah.
do this. Like, you can do it. Like, it'll help outreach your business, all that stuff on there. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, I've always wanted to start a podcast for the past like 10, 12 years. And I just never got around to it. My initial focus on it was going to be with bipolar disorder. But I figured that was too, like, it's a niche topic, but it's too broad of a topic as well.
Yeah.
And I felt like I had to narrow it down. And then life happened and I forgot about it. And I stumbled back into my addiction and all that stuff around about a year or two after I had that thought. And I just completely skipped my mind. And yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah,
Bethany's the reason why this podcast exists, same with my
I
wife.
know. No,
Like,
I do.
I had that seed planted, they just helped ignite that fire under that growth spurt of it pretty much, like, it was trying to crack out of the little ground and squirt its
Well,
little
it's a
flower and all that
fear.
stuff. I
It
think a
There's
lot
a
of it was a
fear.
fear.
Oh, 100%. I've been talking about doing I've always had people just thank you for the shout out, by the way. Yeah, my podcast is just
Mhm.
about a non-clinical, just keeping it real perspective on recovery and like the lies and the myths and the rules and the BS that people think recovery is. And actually, like, you can't be recovered without active healing, right? Because uh being in recovery typically means like a program. But a lot of
Right.
us just grow out of it and just know that, like, we don't wanna live like this anymore, and we don't necessarily need an intervention, we don't necessarily need to go to rehab, we don't necessarily need to sometimes we don't even need a rock bottom, we just kind of, like usually it involves kids, right? Or
Right.
like a relationship that's important to you, and you're just like, "Yeah, this isn't sustainable." And so, I just kinda wanted to push back on these rules because it is a turnoff. It's kind of like religion in a sense. I don't consider myself religious, but I do believe in God. I do talk to God all the time. Without him, I would not be here, and so but I also don't subscribe to, like, the rules of religion, right? Like,
Right.
because it's a very off-putting. So everybody has their own recovery journey. I'm interested to know, more about yours, and I think that's what really sparked our conversation is that, I think you were looking to be a guest, and I probably wasn't reading,
Mhm.
honestly. I pro it was
Yeah.
100% probably me, and I was just like, "Hey," I think was I asking to be a guest on your podcast? Is that what happened?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember
I
either.
know I posted a post about it, and then someone it wasn't you, but someone commented to leave your media account there. I'm like, "I don't have a media account. What is that whole thing?" And then you
Oh,
commented
okay.
under that with something in regards to it, then just kinda, like, dropped your podcast in there because you felt like I could
You
resonate
had
with it.
mentioned recovery. You had
Yes,
mentioned
I did because I
recovery.
think in that
Yeah.
post I mentioned I was in recovery and lived a stable life, all that stuff with it. I think you just found it was a good fit for your podcast to drop that plug in there.
Yeah, well, I just was
Um,
like, "Hey, come listen to this," whatever. I think it
yeah,
was, uh
it's very natural. It wasn't just like
and
forced or anything.
I think it was divinely happened. I believe that we were meant to connect, and I do believe that you needed a little bit of a push because it is hard. And
Mhm.
so, basically, in my ADHD roundabout way of getting to the point I was trying to make earlier was that I, uh, had been wanting to do this podcast, and I just kept putting it off. I am a pro at procrastinating. I put the pro in procrastination. And, and then, after months and months of just like thinking about it, yeah, I really want to do it, but then I have to do this and I have to do that. There's lots of excuses. Um, and then I just fucking did it. And it just felt so good. And I think that as I think my confidence and my purpose is starting to grow, like
Yes.
as I do this and it becomes more of like just it becomes so rewarding and I look forward to it more and more every day. And I make an analogy actually. So like with meth, because that was my drug of choice, just for the audience to understand. I started doing drugs at 12 years old and meth was my first drug. It was supposed to be weed, but it wasn't. It was meth. And then at 15, I became addicted because I learned how to smoke it. And I just went through life always trying to escape it, but basically, there are 3 main ways that you can do meth. You can do lines, you can smoke it, or you can shoot up. And I made an analogy the other day. I was like, wow, you know, I started with the audio. I jumped in head first with the video and my first guest. And now the next level is like streaming. And maybe I'm gonna get to that point where it's like I'm so hooked and it's like, yeah, that's like the equivalent to shooting dope.
Mhm.
Like maybe I'm
I
becoming
do know.
addicted to this. Yeah.
Yeah, because I have replaced addictions with other addictions too, and I feel like
Yeah.
this is gonna be a positive addiction as long as I
Yes.
don't get obsessed with the numbers or anything like that. Because I'm starting to feel myself kinda teeter on that
I
side of
do.
things.
I do. Yeah.
So, like, I'm constantly checking, like, Buzzsprout, all that stuff, which, by the way, I've had 64 downloads in the month of May, which I find that to be phenomenal.
That's great.
That was not a thing in April because my first episode dropped, I think, April 24th, and then all through May, I was consistent with it besides what's today, Friday? I didn't have an episode upload today just because of I think got way too chaotic, way too quick.
Yeah. I
But I'll
think
be
right
back
now
on track next week.
I think you're doing a great job and like I think that that's um to turn something, so here's what I think people, and I say this in my podcast too, it's like, if you make it to the other side, you have a testimony,
Mhm.
and it is a you're robbing people of a potential inspiration or blessing to hear your story that they can
Right.
do it too. And I think, it's just unfortunate for people who do go through so much trauma, don't come out the other end completely out of their mind, or like with that victim mentality that I can't stand,
Right.
and can still spread love and then also help inspire others. And so I think
Mhm.
that what you're doing is great. And so what was your drug of choice?
So, my drug of choice was pills.
Okay.
I loved opioids. So, a little bit of my background with it, I didn't start getting so I have, like, abandonment issues, so I'm gonna start way back to when I was, like, 12. I'm 36 now, so I'm gonna start back when I was, like, 12, 13, maybe
Okay.
even 10. So, right around that age, the time frame of that age, I already kinda had domestic violence kinda in my head a little bit
Mhm.
from my biological father, who my mom was seeing and men, all that stuff in there, and I started noticing that I didn't have a father around. Like
Yeah.
my biological father, I started to notice that whole thing. So I felt like I was abandoned by my father, and I got a Puerto Rican stepfather in my household, who's my little sister's biological father. He was probably the second best guy my mom was seeing, in my opinion, that I can remember. But he had a gambling and a drinking problem. When he gambled and drank, that's when problems arise. But besides
Mhm.
that, if that wasn't the case, he was phenomenal. He was a great guy, in my opinion, from what I can remember as a kid. But
Yeah.
my mom, she sent me something happened in their relationship and had to split up, and I didn't know this at the time. My mom moved me up to my uncle and aunt's house here in Georgia for about 2 years without having the context what was going on. So
Did
my
Was your
head
mom there with you when you moved, or did she just ship you?
She was there with me
Okay,
and
good.
then
Okay.
left me. So
Okay.
I think
Oh,
that's what happened.
okay.
She was there with me and then left me to go back to Florida. So every
Um,
summer, I went up to Georgia as a summer vacation, spent a summertime with my cousins, all that stuff, and then just one year, it just got, permanent for, like, 2, 3 years of my life. So I thought I was being abandoned by my own mother,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So this still
Yeah.
chokes me up because
Yeah.
I don't think I'm quite over it yet. I have forgiven her for it.
That's good.
Like, I've completely forgiven her for it. I still love her. I have a great relationship with my mom, all that stuff now, but it's just I haven't gotten past that part yet.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
still
but
affects my adult life. You know what I mean?
absolutely, absolutely it will. And
So,
the thing
like
is we have to remember that, like, everybody, I had to forgive my dad and I had to forgive my mom. My mom thought she was loving me the best way she knew how, but in fact, she was inviting these older men who were drug dealers into the house and having conversations with them. And I was a teenager, and she was like, "Oh yeah, honey, you could go." So I had to come to
Right.
terms with the fact that, like, she was just checked out,
Mhm.
and my mom, I think, you know, I love her and she's a great grandma to my daughter, but,
Right.
like, I don't know that she was really equipped or ready to be a parent. She had her parents, my grandparents, to fall back on, and they are the reason why I am able to understand, unconditional love,
Right.
right? But my mom and dad were both just kind of selfish, right?
Yeah, my mom was definitely too, and, I don't think she was ready. She was young when she had my older sister. I think a senior in high school still, or fresh out of high school. So she was a young parent to begin with, um, and she just never got through that party stage. So she partied and had
Right,
kids at
and
the
you
same
were an
time.
inconvenience, not you personally, but the
Right.
kids, having the kids and responsibility were an inconvenience. So has she you may have forgiven her, but does she take accountability?
Yes, she does.
Good, okay,
She
that's
does.
good.
She is a fantastic grandmother right now. She's
So she has
being
apologized to you and she
yeah, she's
understands what
being the
she's
best
done.
parent that she can be
That's
now,
good.
and that's all that
Yeah.
matters is that it's now.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't wanna
yeah.
hear or think or anything about, like, maybe next month or next year. I care about the now.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
if you're not
Yeah, yeah,
making
yeah.
changes in the now, you're not gonna make changes in the future.
Right.
The past
Well,
is the past.
don't tell me that because I procrastinate, so I'll do that tomorrow.
You're okay. I mean, there's certain things. This is like,
I
give and
know.
take, you know what I mean? But, like,
Yeah.
the past is the past. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, you learn and grow from it or you get stuck in a cycle, you know?
Right.
And my mom met this guy named Clark. Clark, we don't like at all
We
because he
don't
was a
like Clark.
big
Clark is
correct.
a
I
douche.
will drop his name
Canoe.
on here. If I had his address, I will dox it too. I'm like, y'all can go find him. I don't care.
I'm about to have one of those episodes myself, so I commend you. Yeah, we don't like what's his fucking name? Douche Canoe?
Clark Renison. I'll drop his last name. I don't
Okay,
care.
okay. I'm gonna look him up. I'm gonna send him glitter bombs. Anyway.
But he picks me up one day and I find out that I'm gonna be moving back to Florida. And I'm like, I just made these great friends here. My life is stable. Before this, I wasn't doing good in school or anything. Here, I was excelling in school. I was being challenged, all that stuff. Although I did have my little spurts of anger and
Yeah, which was
depression, all that stuff. You know what I mean?
obviously as a result of the trauma of the abandonment. I
Correct.
my heart broke for you when you told me that, and I can tell that it still
Yeah, it
hurts
does.
you. Yeah.
It does. And he takes me, this guy named Clark picks me up from Georgia, Cumming, Georgia. And yes, it's spelled
Coming.
like it is. Yep.
Cummmi, yeah, mhm.
Yep. And picks me up and takes me back down to somewhere in central eastern Florida, like on the coastline of the Atlantic, but like around like Melbourne area, something like that, if you're familiar with Florida at all.
I'm not.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And all the way down, he's like, "It's so good to see you, son, and I'm your dad," and all this stuff. I'm like, "Who the fuck are
What a
you?"
psychopath.
It gets crazy with him. It
Okay,
gets
keep yeah, go, go,
crazy.
go. Tell me. I'm gonna vape.
And, you're good. And, he's telling me all these stories and all this stuff about him, and all these stories that he's telling me is not true. Like, he said, like, he was in the military. He went AWOL in boot camp. But he said he was this paratrooper and all that stuff in the army and was, like,
What?
in the armed force
But
not
he
armed
went
forces.
AWOL in boot camp?
Yep. Truth came out from his mother.
Oh, okay.
And all this stuff, and he fast forward, like, a year, it's been about maybe a year since I met him. He introduces me to alcohol and weed because he smoked all this stuff. So my first drug was drinking a shot of whiskey at the age of, like, 15, 16, given by an adult and
Yeah.
telling me to smoke weed because if not, I won't be a man. Like, I'm an impressionable kid.
What a dick, dude.
Yes, I'm an impressionable kid at this time,
Yeah.
and I take it, and I'm just completely out of it for, like, the rest of the night, and that was my first introduction to substances, and I was fine until I moved to Jacksonville, Florida, because I haven't touched it since. I don't think I have anyways, but a lot of my childhood's blacked out. Like, I don't remember a lot of my childhood just because of the trauma and
I
all the
have the
stuff from
same.
it,
I have yeah, mhm.
and, moved to Jacksonville, Florida, and I was probably about junior, senior at this point, and I'm starting to see a lot of, like, dishes being thrown across the house, holes being punched in the wall, me being choked and slammed against the door, all this stuff. I've been kicked out and homeless at the age of 17 or 18,
Yeah.
all because of Clark. And
Is that even his real name?
I think it is.
Okay.
I think it is.
Okay.
And I start living this double life of, like, I have these great friends in Jacksonville too, but I wasn't as close to them as I was here in Georgia. And I'm still friends with people here in Georgia, but I'm not as close to them as when I was a kid because I feel like a lot of our growing up and bonding has been ruined because of that
Yeah.
whole ordeal. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we have their numbers, we talk here and there, but we're not. They're close, and I'm just there. And I've tried a couple of times to kind of ease into that again, just never worked out, which is fine. Um, but I started living this double life, and I'm in AP classes, honor class, all this stuff in my senior year, my junior year of high school, and I'm going out with friends, all this stuff. But at the same time, I'm starting to get symptoms of my bipolar disorder, and I start abusing things with partying and pre-partying and all that stuff with alcohol and drugs. I've done acid, I've done coke, never really liked them. My drug of choice was
Froze
always
up.
opioids. It's okay. It'll keep going. I'll just edit this part out. But my drug of choice was always opioids and, um, what else? Alcohol, of course, and marijuana. And, it should be picking up any minute now.
I can't hear you.
And
Can you hear me? Yeah, you're back now.
okay,
Like
I
you froze up. So you were talking about the last thing I heard you say was pre-party.
yeah, so I was like, pregame is what we called it. It was pre-gaming, getting drunk before you get drunk at a bar or a club or something like that. And I started hearing voices in my head, all that stuff. Not really voices, but it was like whispers, like slight
Mm,
whispers in my head. Like I'm starting to enter some form of psychosis, like the
mm,
early stages of it or something like that. And I remember going up to a specific individual. I don't want to name drop here,
yeah.
but not it wasn't Clark, it was someone else. But I just want
Okay.
I won't keep them as innocent as possible with this part with it. But I remember going up to them, I was like, I'm starting to hear voices in my head and all that stuff, like, "What's going on?" And I vividly remember them saying to me, "Don't talk like that, people are gonna think you're crazy." So, like, I already think I'm going crazy, and this just, like,
Just affirming that.
just affirms it pretty much, just puts confidence in it.
Yeah. So fuck
And
it. Let's just go all out and just
that's what I did.
yeah.
'Cause I don't know how to regulate my emotions. I'm still learning how to regulate my emotions. Like,
Yeah.
if I sense tension, I think, "Oh, they're gonna leave me." And it's
You have an anxious attachment.
yes, I do.
I do too.
Um, so I'm trying to work through that. I don't go through counseling or anything like that. I probably should, but,
Uh,
I don't know,
eh.
like,
If
to each your
you
own
here's
with
the
it.
thing. Yeah, so, not to interrupt, but like the it's interesting that you were really self-medicating, right? Like at
Yes,
that point. And for me, my
and I
drug
didn't
use
know it.
was oh
I
yeah.
wasn't aware. I thought I was just being a late teen, young adult sort of thing, you know what I mean? I didn't know
Yeah.
I had a problem.
Yeah. And like for me, it was really just escaping the Trump. Like I knew I was running from something and I was just trying not to be in that reality,
Mhm.
right? So like I was just and I had a new reality now with like a new like life away from the house. I was just always trying to run from something and get into chaos and you know um chaos is something that people become addicted to and turbulence and drama and risky behavior, which I was looking to fight dudes, like, "Oh, you wanna murder me? Try it," like, basically,
Right.
like, "Fuck it," like, I have nothing to lose, but, yeah, so I guess, yeah, but then by that point, by 15, I had already started having the brain zaps, and so at that
Yeah.
point, it was like, I can't handle that, and so I just kept using and also when you build a friend group and a network, which I had a very long spidey network across all of California, I could get drugs like that. Like, I don't have to do anything special, I didn't have to
I
whatever,
was
I could
in
just
Florida, yeah.
yeah, yeah, Florida, big time. The
Mhm,
white boy dope, especially, like it's
mhm,
cooked in like a fucking trailer, you know where it's coming from.
mhm.
And you know, I don't know, did you do meth too?
No, never got my hands on it.
Oh, oh.
Well, maybe in my teenage years, early young 20s, if I got my hands on it, I probably would have tried it, but I probably wouldn't have liked it.
Well, I'm
I
glad you
liked
didn't.
painkillers because there was always some kind of pain in me,
Yeah,
you
and
know what I
that's when
mean?
things go
And,
quiet. And so yeah, for me, meth was just like, bam, let's just feel everything, talk to everybody all the time.
I didn't wanna feel anything.
Yeah.
I just wanna be paralyzed, and I was paralyzed. And, I wouldn't even say numb. Paralyzed would be more of a correct definition for that whole
Like, just
thing.
not being at all, like, just completely checked out.
Correct. Like, I was done with life, but I didn't have the balls to do anything about it. You know what I mean? Thank God, you know?
Yeah. So, suicidal ideation, I had a lot of that too. I did try to off myself a couple times, actually.
Me too. So, I was about 21, yeah, I was 21 'cause it was August of 2011 was when I moved back up to Georgia, and, I was on the phone. So this is like off topic real quick. So I'm already going through this whole psychosis thing, stuff like that. It's on and off, kind of spurts of it, right? So I'm driving down Blanding Boulevard. Anyone who knows Jacksonville, Florida knows Blanding Boulevard. It's either a great place or it's a not okay spot at all. And I was just driving from a not okay spot at all, with probably something in my system, driving back wherever I was going because I was homeless at the time. And I remember I was gonna wrap my car around a pole. And
Mm,
right then and there, when I was about to make that decision, my sister calls me, my older sister.
mm,
Yes. And she tells me you should move up to Georgia. You got family up here, you got friends up here, people who care about you,
aw,
right?
that's a God thing.
It
Yeah,
is. She comes in later too for the second homeless attempt and all other stuff. Homeless attempt,
yeah,
a suicide attempt and homelessness. She comes
yeah.
in later again. So she saves my life twice. And I moved up to Georgia and then life is as peachy as it can be. I have, like I've been through domestic abuse with, like, relationships and ex-girlfriends in the past.
Mhm. A lot of
I've
bitches are
been
crazy. A lot
Yeah,
of bitches are fucking
yeah.
crazy.
Same with men too, not just women, but same
I
with
know,
men.
but women think they could fight like dudes, and the thing is that, like, literally, it takes a very restrained dude to not lay your ass out, okay?
Yep.
Like, I can't even imagine being a dude and having some chick biting me, kicking me in the balls, like, throwing shit at my head. I would knock her out, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep. So,
ah.
I have restrained with that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, I didn't start dating until I was about 22, I think. That was a late bloomer with the whole dating scene and all this stuff because
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't have a spot in my life in my teens when I should be,
Well,
not saying
you
out
were
having
trying
sex and all that stuff, you know what I mean? But going out and, like, building that confidence to talk to women
you
or
had a
just
hole. You had a
yeah,
void, and you
exactly.
you you had so much that didn't make sense to you. Nobody, like, thought of my goal
Right.
in any of their stuff or how their actions would affect an innocent child, and no matter how old, that carries on that trauma,
Right.
and then you're building your own narrative in your head based on
My
imaginary, like, you're
perspective
trying
of life.
exactly because 'cause you're
Yeah.
filling in the blanks, right, with
Mhm.
no frontal lobe maturity at all.
And that doesn't mature till you're about 25,
I
26,
know,
anyways,
I
so it had a
know.
delayed grow up
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, and, like,
So,
nobody yeah, so
yeah, so I wasn't doing any drugs or anything like that between, like, the age of, like, 21 to about 24, 25. I was drinking here and there, but not as much, and I
mhm.
was diagnosed bipolar type 1 disorder because of some behaviors I displayed. And people think bipolar disorder is just mood fluctuations, like, always either really happy or
No.
is really angry. That is not the case. That's just, like, common knowledge of it, but you don't talk about the God complex that you have or the severe hole that you're feeling or anything like that. Or they don't talk about the irritability and how that could affect you, or you can't hold down jobs, or you can't control your money, um, traveling across state lines to hook up with some woman or anything like that. You know what I mean?
It's very, impulsive and compulsive, and there's a lot of elements
Yes. I think in
of
one of my episodes, I think I mentioned something about the impulsivity of it.
mhm,
I
and it's
forgot
like
what
you
I said.
can't control what you're doing, like, your emotions literally, like, your nervous system is
It's
like,
controlling
you
you.
yes, I can
'Cause there's
imagine
no,
that.
there's your brain has these inhibitors, right? Where,
Mhm.
like, a normal healthy brain has these inhibitors where, like, if you're getting too much of that happy chemical, it's like, "Oh, we need to regulate that a little bit so you don't get too happy."
So then you just feel like a complete failure and like everything was is upside down and that like you're the cause of everybody's pain.
Correct.
Does
So, like
Yeah.
so, like, if I get happy, my brain doesn't put those inhibitors in place. It's like, "Oh, let's get happier." And then if
Okay.
something just switches, that happiness immediately goes away within seconds, and you're just in this deep hole. The higher your mania, the lower your lows. If you
Mhm.
ever heard that saying with people with
Yeah.
bipolar disorder? Higher the
Yeah.
highs, lower the lows. That's so true. And,
Yeah.
I met this one girl. I was about no, let me go back a little bit. So, I had a prenatal cyst in my lower tailbone from the age of, like, probably, like, 16, 15, 16, 17. Well, this
Mhm.
about 24, 25. Doctors were always saying it was hemorrhoids, all that stuff, and I almost went septic one day, like, in my
Mm.
bloodstream. So, I had
That's scary.
emergency, surgery done, and I remember driving to the hospital, and I blacked out. I don't remember the drive at all to that hospital, and they were like, "You have a penile cyst, it's not hemorrhage or anything like that, and you need to get surgery done." I got on antibiotics, all that stuff, then, like, a month later, I had surgery. Months of pain meds for a week's worth of pain. I didn't
Ugh.
have a week's worth of pain. I had maybe a day or 2.
And what did they prescribe you with?
Oxy,
OxyContin contents,
Oxycontin,
right? Yeah.
which is, I think, in my understanding, is legal heroin.
Yeah, it's pretty much I mean, it's there's Roxy's, right? That is goes above Oxy. So it's
Yeah.
Oxy. So it goes Vicodin, well, it goes codeine, Vicodin, Norco, Percocet, Dilaudid.
No, it was Percocet because I can only find Oxy on
Okay.
the street. It was Percocets. That's what it
So
was.
yeah, I'm familiar with them all, and then morphine is somewhere in there, but like that was just never my gig. Like I tried heroin a couple times, and I was
Yeah.
just like, but I did have a Norco pill problem though for a while.
Yeah, no, it was Percocets. It was Oxy that I was trying to find on the streets. It was
Okay, and that's
Oxy.
so dangerous. Yeah.
That is because it's especially in today's time, it's laced with fentanyl and all this stuff probably now.
Yeah.
Whatever the new thing is now, I have no idea. But,
Yeah.
I remember I was popping, like, a couple pills a day at first, and I really liked the way I felt because I didn't feel anything.
Mhm.
And I had such a mask on to where I was addicted to pain and suffering, but I was high functioning with it, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. Like, you wouldn't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that unless you
Yeah.
just knew someone was struggling.
Yeah.
And, I had a roommate one day, or for, like, 4 or 5 years, and he's like, "I need to control this because you have an issue." I don't. Like, "No, you have an issue. You don't like, you don't need to be taking these anymore." Like, he, like, threw 'em away from me, and I went crazy on
I bet, yeah.
I didn't do anything physically to harm him or anything like that, but, like, my communication, I was screaming at him, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's
Was
your
not saying
addiction.
nice things because he was part of the LGBTQ community, and nothing against that community,
Yeah, yeah,
but
but you were
I
angry.
was angry, so I just used anything I could to try and tear him down because I was torn down.
Well, that was your addiction talking. That was your survival.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not that kind of person. Like, I'm the nicest, sweetest person you ever meet. I'm so caring for other people, all this stuff that if that side of me comes out, there's something off.
Yeah,
You know
like,
what I mean?
let's go get him to a doctor. He's not right.
That's what should have happened. And,
Yeah.
I was ended up being angry again. I was not again, but I was angry just at life in general.
Mhm.
Like, I went
Mhm.
from being okay and sad to just being sad to covering up the pain meds or covering up the pain with the pain meds. And then I
Mhm.
was just angry. And then I met this girl and
This was the one that
sh
you went across state lines to go
no,
meet? Oh, okay.
no. This
Sorry.
is something completely different.
Okay.
Um, so it was probably my first experience at, like, love, I guess. You know what I
Okay.
mean? But we
Mhm.
weren't we were, too volatile with each
Toxic.
other. Yeah. We were good and we were bad. There was no in between.
Was there
And
drugs involved?
no, there was not, but there was trauma
Okay.
on both ends that just played
Okay.
a part in our relationship.
Yeah.
Severe trauma on their end and then same on my end too. We just
Yeah.
didn't know how to handle ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
later we did reconnect, all that stuff, like where we made amends, we've reconnected, all that stuff. We kind of talk here and there. We're happy for each other. Like they're married, I'm married now.
Mhm.
great. We've always wondered what happened to each other after the whole breakup sort of thing, and it's kinda cool that we reconnected again, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that was part of my recovery journey anyways too. I had to make amends to people, and she was one of them. But, I went to a really bad I know I'm kinda all over the place with the story, but
That's
there's
okay.
just so
I'm
much with
following.
it.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
There's
Also,
just
I
so
do have a
much of it.
question for you.
Yeah,
So I am bad with listening to podcasts. I have not listened to your podcast. I don't listen to any.
you're okay.
But so I don't know how much of your story have you even told on your
None.
podcast
This
yet?
is the first.
Okay.
I've told a little bit
Yeah.
just to give
Yeah.
understanding of it sort of thing,
Yeah.
but not,
Yeah.
like, in depth, like, story time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no,
Um,
you need it. I feel
yeah,
like you need it.
yeah. So,
So you met this girl. So what age were you when you met her? And this
25,
was after
26.
your homeboy or your roommate threw out
It
your
was about
drugs.
25, 26, so it was shortly
Okay.
after.
Mhm.
Um, and we dated for, like, 8 months or so, something like that. So 6
Were
to
you
8 months.
using during this time?
Just drinking,
Okay.
just drinking. Um, and maybe pot here and there, but I don't
I can imagine I can kind of imagine that maybe this breakup is what is your trigger to going back to trying to find some kind of
it put
opiate.
me into a very bad depression that lasted for years, and
Mm.
it wasn't because of the breakup. I
Oh,
think I was just manic for so long, and I had no room for rest, and I just went into
yeah.
a deep depression. So, I went into, of course, mania here and there throughout the whole thing because I had this god complex that was gonna be, what's Walter White?
Walter White is a meth.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, Breaking Bad. Yeah, he was
Yes.
like cooking meth and shit.
Yes, so I thought I was gonna be a Walter White in Georgia with weed.
Okay.
This is my first god complex right
I
here.
know these people too. By the way, I know some of these people. They're
This is my first
yeah.
god complex, like, I was so far gone into mania, this is my first god complex, and I thought I was gonna be this big shot, like, drug dealer sort of thing, right?
Mhm.
And I'm driving out to part of Atlanta, it's called Marietta,
Yeah, I
West
know.
Cobb,
Mhm.
and I get a gun pulled on me
Mm.
just for selling weed, and I was by myself. Rookie mistakes, apparently.
Mhm.
And
Well, it
that
depends on
humbled
how
me
much
real quick.
weight you have too. Like, where did you have a lot of weight on you? Like
Half a
like,
pound,
oh, okay, that's
maybe?
not even a lot.
Maybe, I don't remember what I had. I don't remember anything with this, like, I was like when you're manic, you don't really have much of memory
Yeah, I
comprehensive,
can
like, you're in, like, a
okay.
retardation state. Um, I don't know, it was a lot for, like, one person to be moving, I think. But I got a gun pulled on me real quick, and that humbled me really quick. Like, it took me out of that god complex, made me stable until I got into my car, because of course I'm still alive. And
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that
yeah.
gun was fake anyways, I think it was just to scare me with it.
Yeah.
But I had a gun pulled on me, and, I'm driving back, and I'm like, "I need to lose this guy's number." I quit my job because I worked with him, all that stuff, and, because I didn't want him to be hounding me for money for weed that I owed him, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he floated me that amount to sell to give him a portion back, you know what I mean? While I
Yeah,
keep the
for
profit
sure.
of it. And, yeah, I went into a very deep depression after that again, and I ended up meeting another girl, and I moved out to Athens, Georgia. I quit another job where I was getting paid the most money I ever made at that time in my mid to late 20s, with some girl I just started dating like 3 months in, another manic episode. You know what I mean? Like, "Oh, this is the
And
one," all that stuff.
codependency and also, just needing that affirmation, that validation from an
Correct,
outside
and I
source. Yeah.
was using people to fill that void in me when I just had to fill
Yeah.
it myself. I had to
Mhm.
love myself to fill that void, and I didn't know about this till then.
Yeah.
Um, I'm lucky I met her because if it wasn't for the first one that kinda put that spark of hope in me, and it wasn't for the one after I met that first one, I probably wouldn't be where I am today.
Yeah.
I feel like they crossed my path for a reason, and I
Mhm.
believe everyone crosses your path for a reason, a season, or for life, or
100%.
for your life. You know what I mean? It's just you have to pay attention to it.
100%.
And
That's what this life is about.
yeah, so I was going up and down with my mania, my depression, all this stuff. Just my psychosis got really bad at this point, and I
And you
was
still let me just make it just make sure that I'm understanding. You still don't understand that you have a mental health disorder,
I
correct?
do, but I'm in denial
Okay.
or I'm
But
in disbelief.
so you were already diagnosed.
Yes, but I never
Okay.
got. I wasn't seeking the treatment. I wasn't going through therapy. I was in denial
Okay.
about it. I was just
Yeah.
like just going with the flow because it's all I knew. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And she tells me I need to take medication, all that stuff, and I kind of wasn't, even though I was popping a pill but spitting it out, sort of thing, and flushing down the
Yeah,
toilet,
yeah.
sort of thing. And I was medicating with drugs at this point, with opioids. I was trying to get into opioid addiction in Athens because has a drug scene area too. And I found out through Best Buy with a coworker that was a dealer too. I was like, I need to hook up with you.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm going I'm doing my mental hospital checkups, all that stuff because that was the deal in our relationship. Like, I can live there and be with her if I did this. Very transactional of a relationship,
Yeah, yeah.
which can be healthy to an extent, and that extent is very small because the relationship isn't really transactional. You know what I
It
mean?
shouldn't be, no, yeah, and
Like
I'm dealing with
it,
that a
it,
little bit right now, yeah.
yeah, it was for like what I needed at that time.
Mhm.
And this hospital that I was going to get my medication, all that stuff as well. I guess I was already too far gone, and they knew it. And they started asking me questions, and I guess I let something slip without paying attention to it, and they're
Mm.
like, "You need to be hospitalized. You're a danger to yourself and to society." Not that I will go
So
up
y
and
so
do
you were
something about it.
5150'd.
Right, yes. For, 72 hours, I think it was.
Yeah, it's a 72-hour
Yeah.
mandatory hold. Mhm.
Um, so that was the best vacation of my entire life. Like,
Mine too! I was
someone else enjoys it? Yes.
I had a little boyfriend in there. I was like, dude, I'm telling you, I tried to so, just a little bit of a relatable story. So, like, I had really bad tooth pain. I was also homeless at this point. This was in 2006 or 2007. It was right around Christmas, and I was kind of on this, like, uh, trauma tour. I was trying to figure out some of the holes in my childhood. I knew I had been sexually abused as a child, and it was possible that it was a family member, and so I was kind of, like, on this, crusade, if you will, to find information. I was, like, reuniting with people, and I was trying to ask questions, whatever, and then, I also had a really bad toothache, and I had all these pills, like, I had collected over time. I had, like, Somas, clonazepams, fucking, I don't know if I had Norcos or Vicodins, but I just downed them all, and I was like and the boyfriend that I was seeing at the time was seeing some other chick, and he was passed out. He was actually not drinking that night, and he was a full ass alcoholic, so this is also a God thing in my opinion, because he was not drinking. So but
Uh-huh.
he was asleep, and I took his phone, and I called his bitch from his phone, and I was like, "Hey, bitch," because I thought I was gonna die. I was just like, "Just so you know, I've been fucking him every day, and he doesn't love you." Click. And then he like I passed out in the garage and he
Right.
found me, and apparently I don't remember any of this, but apparently I was like, "If you call 911, I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna kill you. Don't fucking do it." And like and then when they took me out in the stretcher, apparently I was like flirting with the fucking ambulance people. And I was in a hospital. I was in San Antonio hospital for 2 days and don't remember any of that. I was up and walking around talking to my mom. I called her a fucking retard. I don't remember any of this. And then I wake up in a psych hospital, and I'm not even phased. I'm just like, "Huh, I have a bed. Okay, cool." I like nothing fucking I don't have shoelaces, I don't have shoes, I don't have a belt, like I'm just like and I'm cool with it because
You're just
at this point
existing.
I'm just like, I can relax actually,
Yes, that's the
you know?
purpose of
And
them too.
yeah, yeah, and so then yeah, but, definitely had fun. I had fun. So, do you have
Yeah.
birds?
I
Oh,
got
or
a
is that a
lovebird
door?
outside. That's
Oh,
adorable. I
okay.
have a lovebird on the back patio. Might hear her chirping as well.
Yeah, that's
And I
cute.
got a
But anyways,
dog right here behind me.
so yeah, so I understand that for sure. I don't think I have bipolar, but I definitely do have OCD, ADHD, PTSD, CPTSD, and a lot of disorders. So
Yeah.
I do relate to you on that. But yeah, keep going. Sorry.
So, like, this is, like, the best vacation time of my life. Like, 3 days, all I did was sleep.
Yeah.
All I did. I woke up, got my little sippy juice and, like, my little bowl of cereal or, like, cheap eggs from the hospital that was
Yep, and the
leftovers, all that
eggs,
stuff.
the eggs. Yeah, yeah. I remember
That's
the
all I
eggs.
remember. And my little grippy socks. I loved my grippy socks. I wish I still had them because they were the best
Yeah,
socks
and I
ever.
think my little boyfriend's name was Will. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Um, I was thinking, I'm like, I don't think I had a boyfriend.
No, no, I was just having a memory.
That's
I was
what was
like,
my thought process. I was like, wait,
I
oh, no.
know. Wouldn't that be crazy if you did though? Because then
Right?
that would mean we both had boyfriends named Will. That's crazy. It's like meant to
I
be.
know my brain went down that route. Like, did I have a boyfriend named Will? Like, why did I make those connections in my head? No, like that didn't make sense to me, but
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
whatever.
That's
So
what I do.
after the hospital, I go back to my residency, and about 2 weeks later, my ex was like, "You need to get out now. Like by the end of today, you need to get out." I'm like, "Where am I gonna go? I'm in Athens. I'm like maybe 100 miles away from like family, all that stuff, which doesn't seem like that far." But in my head, like I'm fresh out the hospital. Like,
Mhm.
what are you doing? Like my entire world just went collapse on itself, and that was
Mhm.
the hospitalization. That whole like month of April was like, or not April, March and April was like my rock bottom, and that was when I was like, I don't want to live like this anymore. And I vividly remember. I wish I remember this lady's name, but I just don't, and I hate that I don't remember her name. But she was a certified peer specialist, a CPS or CPA, whatever it is. But she was a peer specialist. She lives with bipolar disorder. She's lived through addiction, all that stuff, and she works with the hospital to people with the same lived experiences that she has. And I don't maybe believe in her, but she said to me that I believe in you. This is not your end all be all. This is just a bump in the road, and you're gonna get over
Mhm.
this, and you're gonna flourish. And people said that to me before in the past, but it never stuck. And I think what stuck with me was that she said that she lives with bipolar disorder as well,
So she gets it.
similar lifestyle, and I saw where she was. Like she looked clean and happy,
Mhm.
all that stuff, just at peace. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that really, I guess, just shattered my perspective of life. And
Which is
um,
good. You needed a shattering because your
yeah,
perspective was just so toxic for you.
I closed out of that page on accident. Why did I do that? Oh, someone was messaging me on Facebook. I'm going back to that page real quick because this is where I'm getting up to what I pulled up an hour ago. I have to
Okay.
find it again.
Okay.
But what she said to me, it just resonated with me, and I was like, I want that. I want that peace. And it took me, I went through about about 8 months of a fog state. I don't know if you can relate to that or not, but it was just foggy. Like I was trying to navigate to me, like trying to find that young boy and just tell him that
Yeah.
it's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. To hug your inner child and to like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And it took about 8 months of that fog, and I found him. I just hugged him.
Hmm.
So this is where I found that post, by the way.
Okay.
So when you're coming, this is a quote of what you said, and it resonated with me so well. Okay. So
Okay.
this is a quotation from you, and I think your first or second episode of your podcast. And
Okay.
it says, when you're coming out of an addiction, you're not just starting over, you're being dropped into a completely different life that you're never prepared for. Our skill set was built on something completely different. And I was just relearning that skill set again.
Yeah.
And
Oh, it
what
gave
was
me
I?
chills.
So tearing up a little bit. Tearing up a little
No,
bit.
that's yeah, no, it's I feel like you are I feel like this podcast is part of your healing journey, that you have been in recovery, but the healing is new
Mhm.
to you.
There we go.
Okay. So, what I was saying is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the feeling that I'm getting is that uh I don't know what the last thing you heard me say was.
I heard I heard it cut out again, and then I can still hear and see you doing stuff, which still records on your end.
Oh.
It does. So there's gonna be a lot that I'm gonna be editing out with the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
blips of the internet
You're
connection.
welcome. You're gonna have lots of fun tomorrow, or
That's
however
fine.
long you yeah, so basically what I think it's really good for you uh to purge those emotions. What you're dealing with right now, and this is what I tell my friends and when they're in crisis, and I'm usually the crisis control friend
Right.
because I can objectively, and I also am very intuitive and I get information, and so my what I'm feeling is that this podcast is actually part of your healing journey, and that you've been clean, but that, like, you're still in your first stage of healing, right? And, like, this is part of your healing, and I think that, when you are crying, you're you have such a backlog of pain that some of
Mhm.
these tears, yes, they're brought on by, like, humility and gratitude, but there's and some tragic pain, but, like, sometimes it feels like if you start crying, you're not gonna stop because you just
Right.
have so much, right? And so a lot of times what we'll do is we'll stop it. Like, it'll get to here, and
Mhm.
then
But it's
we'll
not gonna
stop it.
drop.
It's not gonna drop because
Because
like,
once it
and
drops, it's over.
it's over.
There's no
But
going
yeah,
back.
yeah. But I so want that to happen sometimes because I'm just so strong, and sometimes I'm just so tired of being strong. And you know, I just I do hope that, for one day I will allow myself to be uh supported, right? Because I
Mhm.
feel like I do push a lot of support away. I feel like I can deal with that on my own. I isolate. I will, I've gotten a lot better. Like, for me, I'm going on 8 years clean, but I've only been healing for 3 to 4 years.
Right.
And that is because of an ex, or a still current situationship, which he's very, you know, disciplined and regimented when it comes. He's kind of emotionally not available, but he is very rational, and I needed somebody that was really strong in their boundaries for me to even know what a boundary was. It wasn't until he was like, "No, that's out of bounds." And I was like, "Huh, what? What the fuck are you talking about? Out of
That's how
bounds,
my older
motherfucker."
sister
Like
was. Yeah.
like like uh okay, and then I started to be like, "Oh shit. Okay, so that's where, like, my whole boundary series was about." It was like about, like, okay, a lot of us don't even know what a boundary is. We subjected ourselves to chronic
Mhm.
trauma and abuse and toxicity, and it became normalized for so long. So yeah, like, people get clean, and you absolutely cannot heal without being clean, but you cannot recover without healing.
Right.
So there is no such thing as recovery. without active healing. And that comes,
Mhm.
and yes, the 12 steps are amazing for that. Um, but it wasn't until recently I learned that there are all these other different types of recovery groups that aren't the orthodox AANA, which I'll
Mhm.
talk about in my next. I just recorded the next Karen and I episode yesterday, and so I took
Nice.
the day off, but I'm gonna edit it tomorrow. I'm gonna spend a lot of time editing too, believe me. But yeah, so there's like a Christian-based, recovery group. There's also a no harm recovery group. So it's like there's all these different non-orthodox AANA where they're like, nope, if you're in AA, you have to say you're an alcoholic, or like you can't do prescription drugs. That means you're not really clean, or you can't drink socially if your drug of choice was meth. It still doesn't matter. You have to abstain from everything. It's like that. No, nobody gets to put rules on us, bro.
No.
Like, it's
Everyone's journey
my
is
journey.
completely different. Like, I never
Yes.
went through rehab or anything like that.
You chose it, so you
I
have
just
this.
chose it, that's all. Like, I just didn't wanna live that way anymore. I just
Yeah,
wanted things to change, and I put the work in. And with after that 8 months of that fog, I remember in my youngest nephew's bedroom, that's where I slept. He I'm his uncle, and I'm living with his mom at 29 years old at the time, and I'm living in some child's bedroom.
humbling
Yes.
and a little embarrassing.
Yes. But,
But that's
I
where the
had
humility comes from, is
yes,
humiliation, right? Like,
right,
humility, all the root words are the same, so, like, yeah.
and I needed that, and
Mhm.
I just
But what was your relationship with God like? I know that at one
I
point
didn't have one.
you didn't have one, okay.
No, I didn't have one,
But
and
looking
to
back,
this day,
you have to see that
I believe in a higher power, yes,
yeah,
I
yeah.
do, but I don't know what that is.
Doesn't matter, that you have to know
It's
that
just
these
I know that
things are God things.
I believe in it, and that's all that matters. I don't know if I
Right,
ever have a religion,
right, that's
um,
fine.
and I try to explain to people, like, I think I have my own God,
Then 100%.
you know what I mean? Like,
I get that. But you know
the
that he
overall
was
lifestyle might
there.
be the same, but, like, it's personal to me, like, I found my
100%.
relationship with a
I
higher power.
I still
It
battle
might
the
not be the
whole.
traditional Jesus or
Yeah, I have a problem with the
whatever.
Jesus thing too sometimes, because it's like, it could be a metaphor, it could be, whatever. I mean, Jesus is love, cool, but like
Mhm.
me and God are like homies, bro. Like I pray to God, I don't pray through
Yep.
Jesus. I don't pray through saints. I don't
Nope.
have to do all of these, whatever it is to
Yep,
like
I don't have to
he
stand, sit, sing some song.
or recite some creed, right?
Right.
Like, so,
Where
but I do love sermons. I love good sermons. However,
I do
and I
too,
do,
like, I
and I,
love them for the life aspect of it, not for the
right.
religious aspect, but to what how I can incorporate to my life or
And the
just give back to
Bible
others.
has helped me so much, you know, through my breast cancer diagnosis, that I was living with the guy that I was just talking about, and it was just
Mhm,
very bad. And so I would go down to my Connex storage box, and I always say, I found Jesus in my storage container. But then, like, I still go back, because at that time I needed Jesus, in whatever form that is. But now I have gone back to my focus on just my relationship with God. I know God exists. I've been a third party in my near possession, and I know that there was a good and there was a evil. There was a
mhm,
maniacal evil laughter, and there was a godlike person
mhm,
screaming at this evil in Aramaic. So,
right,
like, that, whoa, right? Like,
mhm,
that happened. And so I know that there is a purpose for me. And you have to know, Michael, that everything you've told me, it is not an accident. And you have to know that that is divine intervention, that you're still here,
yep,
because you were on a crash course to death.
Yep.
You wanted to die, whether you were an active participant in it or a indirect participant in it. You're like, if a semi truck hit you, awesome, right?
Great,
Like,
I didn't have to do it.
yep, I didn't do it. But
Yep.
so the fact, and I just love that you're doing this podcast,
Yeah.
and I I do have some questions for you about, like, you did mention that you did go through a program, so did you get a sponsor and all that jazz?
No.
But you went to meetings?
I went to bipolar support group meetings,
Oh, okay, well, that's
but
good. Do they
nothing
do
with
12 steps
drugs.
there?
More like open therapy, like open
Okay,
talk
okay,
therapy, just how
yeah,
we feeling sort of thing,
okay,
which
and
it
you
helped a
is
little bit, but wasn't really.
have you fully embraced and accepted your bipolar diagnosis?
Yes. I
Perfect.
think that right there was made me be stable. So I've
Yeah.
been in recovery, I've been stable, I've been clean for exactly, give me 1 second.
Do you have that app that tells
I
you the
do.
days
I do. I love this app.
that
I love this app. For exactly 2,632 days since March 15th of 2019.
Nice. Good for
It's
you.
exciting.
Yeah.
I just love seeing that number go up. That's another addiction thing I'm addicted to. Just watching that number go up. I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, and I can imagine, so there was a point in time when I lived in Chicago where I was saving money, where I learned that saving money was actually giving me dopamine hits, because every time that my savings went up,
Mhm.
uh, it was like, yeah, I was, like, amped up. I was getting that dopamine
It
hit
kinda
every time.
it's kinda like a confidence booster too, in like a good
Yeah,
way. Not like a cocky
yeah,
way, but in like, "I did this." Like, "This is a positive action that I did."
yeah.
You know what I
And you have
mean?
a business,
Yes.
and that's amazing. Like, when I came out of, when I moved to Utah, so I had a relapse in Utah. So, like, I came to Utah in 2016. I was going through the motion. I was drinking every night. My mom is a functioning alcoholic, and I was living with her, and so I was drinking. And then I went to go buy I was, like, training this girl at a place that I was working, and I was looking for Adderall. And because you make the decision in your mind before you relapse, right? Like,
Yep.
you're already kind of
You're
gearing up for
already
that.
you're holding a bottle before you take that swig, and you're like, "Do I do it? Do I not do it?" And that's a choice.
Yeah. Yeah, so I
You
was
choose
already
yes, take it, or no, throw it away.
no, but yeah, I was building that.
Mhm.
I was looking. And when I can suss it out easy. And so I met this girl's mom, and it dawned on me, like, okay, first of all, this bitch is twacked out. And I was also like, that's why she's selling her Adderall,
Right.
clearly. So I was like, bitch, where's the good stuff? And then I
Mhm.
was on a 10-month relapse. That was the last time I used. So that was between August of 2017 to July 3rd of 2018. And that decision was just because my daughter at that point was 3 years old, 3.5 years old. And while I wasn't a bad mom, she was well taken care of, but emotionally, she was going to start needing me.
Mhm.
And
Well, she
even
another
though
year or 2, she would've
she would,
strongly.
well, she was starting to see, first of all, I didn't want her to be around the people that I was associating with in order to get meth. So the
Mhm.
risky behavior, I mean, the
Oh, kids catch
possibility.
on at a young age. I caught on with my mom by a young age too, as far as I can back to where I can remember. Like, I saw my mom hiding, like, her little roaches and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you can see
Like, I put the connection together, like, "Mom doesn't smoke before. Why is she smoking now? What's she smoking? Does it smell like a cigarette? What is that?"
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you're
Like,
right,
kids
and
are smart. Kids know.
they 100% do, and I just didn't, and I'm not a deceitful person to those that I love. I mean, I'm not a deceitful person in general. It's very difficult for me to do that.
Mhm.
Um, but, like, especially, I just didn't want to even have that in her core memory. She was starting to build her core memory, and the risk I was bringing home, and then the sleep deprivation, and then, like, trying to balance being a functioning addict at work, and knowing people are, like, not quite sure, because a lot of people don't know what a meth addict or functioning meth addict looks like. You see signs. I'm sure that they saw signs, but you can't put your finger on it. Like, something's not
And you
right with
can't
her,
really go
but
out
she
there and just, like, ask it either, you know what I mean?
right.
'Cause
So,
it could be
it
just who
was
they
just
are in general.
right, right. And so, yeah, definitely it was just, and then once I stopped, Michael, I'm telling you, that's when my career just went up and up and up, and and so I always make a joke about how, like, man, if I had never done drugs, I probably would have been president, because in 7 years, at that point, I was saying this, I was like, in 6, 7 years, I own a condo, I have good credit, I have land. At that point, 2 years ago, I had land in Tennessee. Like, these are things I wish that I had
Mhm.
earlier on, or that somebody had taught me, like, these are the things you wanna do to position yourself so that you have generational wealth, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that you have, and
And I
nobody did,
talk
so
about that, I think in my not the last episode, but my 4th episode, I think I talk about that, addiction in
yeah.
your wallet, and just the price that addicts pay. It's not
Yeah, you can't
just
get that back,
you
and
can't get that
it's
back. It goes
no.
from the substances, it goes from the court dates, the
No, yeah.
gamble, the for savings, your job promotions, not
Your
having a
integrity.
job, not the
Yeah,
periods of you not having a job are just like that's income loss too, and that just trickles
it
down.
is. And yes, the court cases, the felonies,
Mhm,
the associations,
mhm,
all the trauma, like that all, and the imposter syndrome. Okay?
yes.
Because that is huge for me, and I think that's what really has been helping with this podcast, is building my confidence that I do have a fucking purpose. I am actually valuable, right? So that's
I agree
helped
with
with
that.
my right? Like, I
Mhm,
actually do have a message. I'm not just up in the night thinking I matter. I
right.
do,
I've
right?
been
Like,
thinking that too, like, I struggle with that currently, and, like, not I don't really I guess, I'm starting not to struggle with it more now, but
right,
I'm
because you're
starting to
doing this
believe that I'm a
podcast.
success story also. I've had people tell me
Yes.
that I'm a success story, but I never believed in it myself.
Right.
I was
Yeah.
like, "Why?" I got survival guilt, I lost friends to suicide, to drugs, I friends passed I no longer talk to.
I'm late in life. I don't have
I'm so
anything that I should,
exactly, you know
like,
what I mean?
I do.
Like
I 100% know. But
yeah, I'm good with finance, all that stuff, but my savings and my credit score, like, I'm building that up again. Like, it was I built it up before, it tanked last year because of life circumstances, not with, like, anything bad or anything like that, it was just
right,
living
right, right. It
situations
just
at the time. It just
yeah.
happened to take a dump for it, but, I'm building it back up again, but it's just like, I should have so much more now.
No, you should not shit on yourself.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that, but it's like, like these thoughts that come across my head, you know what I mean? It's just like, well, it is what it is. So, like, you can't change the past. It is what it is. Like the beginning of the episode, it's what I'm doing now.
Right. You
You
did
know?
say that, and it is something that, unfortunately, for a lot of people who are just coming out of addiction, it's not a natural thought process
No, it's
to
not.
be grounded. There is shame. That's why I talk about it. Addiction isn't really the disease. The disease is the shame, the guilt,
Yes,
the
it is, and
pain,
I
the
talk about that
anger, the
too.
resentment, like, because it's a symptom. Addiction is a symptom. That's why I don't subscribe to the disease model, because I did have a disease. I did have cancer. Like that, like just
Mhm.
like getting a disease isn't a choice. It's either genetic or you catch it. You can't catch a heroin addiction from somebody
No,
else,
you
right?
can't. You
Like,
you chose it.
you chose it.
No, you might
Whether
have.
it's
I
whether
see it
it's
more as a
you
personality trait, if
positioning
anything.
yourself in an environment in which it's clear it's going to lead to that. But anyway, um, you you build up a group of people in which you feel like that's where you belong. And if those people are, you know, the the underbelly of society, you know that it's only going to add to the the drugs and the risky behavior and the bad
Mhm.
things that, you don't, basically, if you when you love yourself, you're not seeking out people who are criminals. Period. You're just not. Like when
You're
you love
not.
yourself, you project self-worth and you attract
Mhm,
worthy people, right? But
mhm.
when you're down here, you're going to go mingle with the underbelly and you're going to be like, yeah, these are my peeps. Yeah, we are the hooligans, we're the heathens, right?
The
Whatever.
degenerates.
Yeah, the degenerates, the island of lost broken toys, whatever it
Mhm,
is. And there's a lot of the devil in there, and I talk about that too. It's like there's so much evil, and it's like the darkness and demons are just waiting for you to open yourself up and just like take your spirit and your soul.
mhm.
And so yeah, you have a lot to be proud of. I'm very happy that you did this and that you just because here's the thing, you didn't know me, and I was just like, "No, you just gotta do it." And then, of course, with your wife, it was just perfect, God's timing, and you
Yes,
just did it.
I just
And
did
look
it.
at the response you got, and it's
It's
so
been oh my
affirming.
god, it's been beautiful. I don't know if I so I did an interview with a doctor yesterday for, she was a neuroscientist. Did I show
Ooh,
you that review that she left on my
yeah,
podcast? I showed it to you?
mhm. Yeah, and you said that, yeah, it made you emotional, and I
It
was just
it
like,
did,
"Wow."
like, I was
Yeah,
starting to cry at work from just over just joy, and,
yeah.
like, I might have pulled the trigger too quickly with the guest thing, but I'm glad it happened.
Yeah.
'Cause now I'm just like, I'm booked.
Now
I'm
you're
like,
in it, yeah.
I got a family, I got a 9 to 5 at my bank, I have my coaching practice that I've kinda neglected, and I'm trying not to.
Yeah, yeah, but this
Um,
podcasting thing is fun,
it
and learning
is.
and growing and doing it yourself,
It
and,
is.
like, I try to watch, like, how-to videos and shit, and I'm just like, "I can't do this. I can't do
No.
this." I just have to do it myself, and, I love that we're both newbies in it, and we're just getting our sea legs, and I love how we're just, like, jumping right in, like, doing it solo, and then, like, "Okay, you know what? I gotta step it up. This isn't enough." It's like, we're podcast junkies now, like, trying
Yes.
to get the hit of the recording, like, all I
Mhm.
wanna do is, like, because 'cause I've got so many ideas, and I just wanna you know, I bought so many freaking mics and I can't wait to test them out and see like, what I can do. I know that I need to have headphones. I do suffer from migraines and so this isn't necessarily ideal, but
Yeah.
I just love this for us. So I do think that and you're still how old are you now? 36?
36. Yep.
You're still so young. You still your 30s are going to be I think my
They've been
30s.
blissful.
Yes. Now that I'm 43, I'm starting to see myself age and it's just like, oh, But I'm the happiest I've ever been,
Yep.
and I never ever think about using ever, and I know that that's not the way it is for a lot of addicts out there.
Mhm.
I wouldn't consider myself an addict. I don't even take my full Adderall prescription, which means I fully could take 10 Adderall right now, but I don't. So I
Mhm.
don't even know, does that mean I'm was never an addict? Because it doesn't make sense, right? Like in
It
the in the
doesn't.
world in the world of addiction,
It doesn't, and
when
I
they
think
say
about
you're
that
an
too.
addict for the rest of your life, that's bullshit.
It is, like, no, I was addict then.
Yeah,
Like, a part of me still struggles, but, like, maybe I do say that I am an addict,
but you're not,
but I layer on top of that, I've been clean and sober for X amount of years,
right? Because
and I'm starting not to even have that label in conversations anymore. I'm just like, I've been in recovery
yeah, but
for
I don't
seven
even
and a
believe
half
in that.
years.
I don't even believe
Yeah.
in saying that for myself because I'm not in recovery. I don't go to meetings. I don't count my sober days. I know I feel guilty even celebrating my sober birthday because it's not hard for me to be sober, bro. Like I
Mhm,
feel for other people it's hard.
mhm.
And I'm not saying that I'm better or anything like that. I'm just
No, of
saying that
course
like
not.
it's completely different when you make that choice and it is your willpower. Your
Yes.
will to not use well, it's not even will, it just isn't gonna happen, and I
Mhm.
can't explain that, but yeah, I feel guilty when I'm like, "Yeah, I'm 8 years clean," and it's like, "Okay, well, yes, should I be proud of that? Sure, but was it a struggle? No, because once I chose to get clean, I have not once
I don't
thought
think it's a
about
struggle for
using."
me either, besides nicotine.
Yeah, I smoke
That's the
cigarette I will
hardest thing right there.
sometimes
Nicotine is
double
the hardest thing
fist.
to
I'll
quit.
be like this, I've done
Yeah.
that.
I
That's how,
I
and
used
I
to
will
smoke and vape.
never quit.
Yeah,
I will never quit smoking ever,
I
and
told
I'm okay with
myself
that.
I will quit smoking when I meet the one, and 2 weeks into
Yeah.
dating my wife, I met the one, and I quit smoking.
Oh, good. So,
Yes.
okay.
She didn't
Yeah.
give me an ultimatum or anything like that. It was just she has asthma, and I
Oh, yeah.
respected her and liked her enough to where I was like, "Hey."
But you still want I'm sorry, I've been vaping. Does that, like, bother you?
No, it doesn't. It's
Okay.
because I can't smell it and hear it, I think.
Okay. Okay, cool, cool,
If I
cool.
see the smoke doesn't bother me, but it's that cackling sound, like,
Oh,
"Oh,"
yeah, yeah.
or that
Yeah.
pop with take a
Okay.
big hit and it makes
Let's
that
stop
pop sound.
triggering you,
Woof.
Michael, you weirdo. No, but yeah, like, I can watch I can see,
I can be around people drinking, it doesn't bother me.
I
Like
still drink. But I only get to a certain point. I don't like, and I have gone out to a bar maybe 3 years ago, and yeah, did I get drunk? 100%, but I don't drink alone. I don't drink at home. Like, I don't crave alcohol. Alcohol was never my drug of choice. It was only something that replaced meth when I
it
didn't
was my
have access to
gateway.
meth.
It was
Oh,
my
okay.
gateway drug. So I was a social drinker
Mhm.
and, people say pot's a gateway drug and all this stuff. I don't believe that.
I don't believe it either.
I don't believe that at all. I think alcohol is a gateway drug.
For some people it is. For some people it could be literally like anything. Can we have
Yeah.
so many addictions out there that people are like, first of all, I will be doing an episode about our weaponized chemistry. So like there are people out there who understand the human body and weaponize it against us and
Mhm.
weaponize our chemical makeup to make us addicted to things so that they make money.
I think marketing's brainwashing.
Yeah.
That's
So,
all it is.
we're all addicts because we
Yep.
all do it. So, like, is there such thing as an addictive personality? I don't know. I don't think so because we are all wired
Mhm.
to everybody is susceptible to being addicted to something. And it's not a personality disorder. I think that OCD, I think that uh bipolar
Mhm.
could be essentially addictive personality disorders because they do
They couple
often.
each other.
Well, there's the compulsion and the impulsivity,
Yeah.
and so that is a huge marker of addiction, is the inability to stop yourself from doing something.
Mhm.
But as far as, that's kinda why I called it addictive personalities was A, it was catchy, but B, it's also kind of like what's the word? Like it's a
Like a play on
it's
words?
it's like
Not
a
really.
it's like a intentional.
I
Like,
know what you're
not
talking about. I
that.
can't think I can
Yeah, yeah,
describe
I
it,
can't think.
but yeah.
I know the word, but
And that's the whole episode, all this stuff, be like, "You gotta message me," or so I message you, I'll be like, "It was this word." I'm gonna be like,
yeah,
"Yes."
I know, I will, and then you'll have to call it out on another episode. But no, I just it was an intentional, um, play on words, I guess, and it's just because I do think that it's what everybody kinda leans on. It's like, "Oh, I just have an addictive personality," and it's like, "No, bro, you don't actually understand anything you're talking about." And like, that's, because
It's like the
unless
what
people.
is being bipolar? I'm like, "You don't really know what bipolar means." You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and
That's how I
right.
interpreted that.
Well, right, people assume and they inject, their own preconceived notions and what they, and people have their biases and people have their, like, images, and everything that we see about every single type of disorder is amplified and most extreme, right?
Mhm.
And then we also it's simplified, oversimplified. So there's so many different variables and layers and complexities, and it's just never the same for any one person. So I
It's
think
true.
it's super brave that you have taken, and I feel really honored that in this episode you have chosen to share
Yeah.
the most vulnerable parts of your story. Um,
Like I told you,
because
I'm an open book. I'm super open with things, and I
yeah,
think I have to be.
100%.
Yeah, to an extent with what I share and who I share it to, but it's just,
Yeah, we
time and a
keep,
place. There's a time and a place.
100%.
I don't wanna
And
play the woe is me card. I play that all through my 20s and my late teens, all this
yeah,
stuff,
you're not
and
a victim, you're a survivor,
exactly.
and you have a perception and an experience that think about all the little Michaels out there.
Mhm. That's funny you say that. There's a story that I love. There's this man walking down a beach, and he sees for, like, miles down the shoreline, he sees starfish outside the ocean. He's walking with someone else, friend, brother, family member, whoever, coworker, right? And he's putting each starfish back into the water. And the guy or the person he's walking with, he's like, "Why are you doing that? You're not gonna make a difference and you're not gonna change anything." It's like, "Yeah, but I'm changing their individual lives of who I'm helping along my way." He might not get
Mhm.
all of them, but he made a difference in that one starfish's world.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And I love that little
100%.
story.
Yeah.
That's just like, probably like layman's terms of it, but yeah.
No, no, no. Yeah, I'm familiar with that story, and it is 100% the case. What do you do when you see 500 people suffering, and because you can't save them all, you walk past them all?
Yeah, no, that's not right.
Right.
That's not okay. That's very like sociopathic, I think.
Well, that's what we're all being conditioned to do right now
Yeah.
in our society, and that's why I think it is a
Mhm.
really big deal that there are people like you and I who have to get over our fear and our self-doubt and our imposter syndrome and our, like, you know,
And believe that
um
we are success stories.
yes, and share
And,
that,
we
and
can share that to the world, and it's not gonna resonate with everyone,
but do you
but
know
it might
what?
resonate with one person, and
We
that
are
one person can help
memorializing.
someone else.
Did somebody brought this up to me, one of my best friends, Carrie, I wanna have her on too.
Yeah.
She's like, "No, Bethany, do you realize you're memorializing yourself? It's gonna be on the internet forever. Like, you're gonna have this piece
Mhm.
of yourself out there forever. That's a big deal." And I was like, "Huh, yeah, I guess." I
Never thought
I
about
was
that, it's kinda scary.
I know. That's why I have to be careful about, like, what information I share,
Mhm,
because, first name is all, and, I've had to interviewing with my friend, I've had to bleep out, names and completely cut out things because we just naturally talk about who we know and things like that, but
mhm.
anyway, no, I do really
Clark's name's still
appreciate.
staying in here, just so you know.
What?
Clark's name?
Oh, oh, yeah, no,
Yeah,
do that.
he's
No,
still
I get
staying in
that.
here. He's still staying
I'm
in here.
trying. Yeah, 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 yeah. We don't like him.
No.
He is a bad dude. And yeah, I there are several people that I think because there's no statutory limit on the things that the people and the things that they've done to me. And I want to have, like, I wish one day I'll be ready to do that, but there are several people out there who have been living their life without having paid for the, assaults on
Right.
me, and I want to out them, but I have to also be ready, you know, for what may come from that,
Yeah, like,
and
it could affect you, could affect your daughter, whoever, you know what I
and
mean?
some of these people are just sad people
Right.
anyway, and so, like, what's the point, right?
Mhm,
But anyway, but I do think that, yeah, that guy that you talk about, Clark, what a
mhm.
fucking, um, Dark Clark. He seems a little bit of like a creep and a perv to me, honestly. Like, who the fuck does that, right?
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Yep.
No, I'm very proud of you. I think you have something really good going on here, and I'm going to listen to your podcast.
There's no
That I
rush.
Oh, well, I'm making that promise to you right
Okay.
now because you've actually been so supportive of me and
Yes.
so positive towards me and helped me so much, um, even more than some of my friends. So I don't know if my audience is just all my friends or not, Like, I
Right.
don't know because I can't tell who's listening. I do
Uh-huh.
know who my some of my followers are because they'll comment or whatever, but I think that it's amazing that you and I we're in the same kind of vibe as far as where we were at, and, yeah, I'd love to be back. I'd love to have you on my podcast,
Of course.
honestly,
I'd love to be
and
on it.
have you yeah, and have you kinda talk about because there will be more, mental health related topics and,
Mhm,
like, how the regulation is really important in that, and for people my friend also has bipolar, Karen,
mhm.
whom I've been, um, interviewing, and we're gonna talk about that in the next, interview, and so I think it would be really super interesting to also have your perspective too, because I think it does actually, affect women and men differently.
It probably does, probably 'cause, like, the hormonal changes, all that stuff there too.
Yes, 100%,
Not only
yeah.
that, upbringing too. If, God forbid, if anything happened to, like, her or just someone in general, and the way they shape their perspective on their life, and then, like, bipolar, I could be wrong, but people don't know if it's hereditary or if it's environmental. I think it's a mixture of both. I think if you have that gene for it and your environment triggers it, I don't know if it's hereditary or if it's environmental, and I think it's a mixture of both. Where,
Yeah.
like, you might have that gene for it, but your environment could trigger it.
I think it's possible that everybody has a susceptibility for that, and it's just a matter of, what your brain and maybe it is, um, hereditary in that way, where you're predisposed to that should the right external circumstances occur, that it
Right.
just kicks in. Add substances to that, not
Mhm.
good. No bueno. I've known
No.
people who will never be the same, will never have because they're paranoid schizo, and it just brought that out and my heart really goes out to those people who will never get that. Like that is one disease that to me is more of a disease than anything else than just a disorder because a disorder eh, alludes to the fact that you can repair, right?
Right.
Like that there is some type of reordering
Mhm.
or redirecting,
Mhm.
but with and regulation, but with schizophrenia and multiple personalities and things like that, that's like and I've seen people just never come back.
I don't think some people can.
Yeah.
I think maybe
It's
some people can in such a rare occasion, like if the stars align sort of thing. But, like, that made me question, like, my whole bipolar thing. Like, I'm starting to go down on dosages on my medication.
I would be really
Um
careful about that,
No,
but
this is
just
with
as
doctor's
long
approval, doctors
okay.
watching me too. It's not just me
And
deciding
you
it.
have cognitive behavioral therapy or like
And
EMDR and stuff?
dialectical
Okay.
behavioral therapy and cognitive, yep, I've had all
Cool,
that.
cool,
So,
cool.
like, I've been stable for 7 years. Last year, I did have a hiccup in my, stability with it, but I never relapsed from it. I was
Yeah.
able to do what
To
I needed to do. Like, I allowed myself to feel that feelings I was feeling, allowed myself to go through that, but not to sit in it.
right.
You
And
know what I
that's
mean?
and yeah, and I think that there are a lot of people, and this is not a married to opinion, but I do have this feeling that people are often too quickly diagnosed, too often medicated, when really, in fact, we do have a lot more control if we can be aware of the things that are triggering us and what
Mhm.
these things look like, our cycles. Like, I don't have bipolar, so I can't speak like I do. I'm just saying,
No, you're good.
like, your cycles could then be mitigated and they would be farther and fewer in between, and then also shorter, right? Like, so, like, you would be recognizing, like, there I don't know, does that happen for you where, like, you are aware that you are now in a manic episode or you are in a depressive episode and, like, you can then redirect yourself, or does that not happen?
It depends. Before, it's just I never was able to redirect myself. But, what I wanna touch bases on is that I'm starting to second guess the diagnosis, and I say
Okay.
that because, I had this one therapist I was seeing. He was like, "Are you on the spectrum?" I was like,
Yeah,
"What?"
I
He's like,
actually got that
"Autism." I
I
was
got
like,
that honestly, I it was
"You can
a it
be
was a
honest with it."
Yeah, 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 I'm going to, but I'm
Okay,
also gonna say that it, like, it hasn't been like, "Oh, like, this whole time," but only already in the first 15 minutes we were talking, I had a suspicion that you were on the spectrum, whether it be Asperger's or whether it be a high functioning autistic,
I'm not though. I
type.
got tested for it.
You did?
I did.
That's
It's
interesting.
PTSD.
Okay, or CPTSD because that's
One of those 2,
complex.
yeah, it's one of
Yeah, yeah,
those 2,
yeah.
but it's some form of trauma with it.
And that's where all these things come from. See, you and I
Yes.
align on that because I don't believe my girlfriend is going. There are a lot of people that are gonna get mad at me for saying this, but I believe that, borderline personality disorder is a bullshit fucking disorder, and I think it's actually something that benefits the big pharma, benefits the doctors, and that
Mhm.
it also gives people, like, this excuse, "Well, I could be a fucking cunt because I have
I have this,
borderline
like, that's not the
personality
case.
disorder." No, borderline personality disorder actually just makes you a victim every single time, and
Mhm.
you can teach yourself not to be a
You
victim.
can rewire your brain, which I speak to
Yes!
a doctor about that, about neuroplasticity and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
So that's in your last episode that you just recorded was with her, right? Is
yes,
that who yes, I need
yes,
to listen to that. Is it
yes.
published already?
Not yet. That might
Okay.
be 2nd week of June, I think. I haven't have
Okay.
a date yet for it.
You got yeah, 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 you gotta let
But,
me know. Well, I will catch up before then, but
yeah, there's not that many. They're not that long anyways. Like, as long as yours. Just throwing that
So,
out there.
okay, well, like so, like, you're have you published an interview yet?
No, first one's gonna be on June 1st.
Okay, and how
And I was
long
with
are
that
you
author.
okay, and how long are you trying to compress like, first of all, how long did that session go? And then how long are you trying to make that?
It was about an hour-long session. Like, how long to make the video or the episode?
Well, how long did the conversation go? And then how much editing, like, how much
Oh, not much editing. It's
okay,
about
so
an
you're
hour-long
just
conversation. It's to each your own. I don't edit that much in it, unless I
okay.
have to edit it because of, like, the internet connection or what have you. But
Yeah, yeah,
I don't do that much editing. It's just raw footage of it. So,
yeah.
yeah, but yeah, like, I think that I might not be bipolar. I think it could be me just not growing up the way I was supposed to, that
Mhm.
led to, like, behaviors because I didn't know any better with certain things, you know what I mean? Yeah, the reason why I think that is because my first found that miracle one pill that, like, be all fixed all with the bipolar. Like, I've been taking Abilify for
Okay.
7.5 years at 15 milligrams. It's already a low dosage of it,
Right.
and,
Side
um,
effects are low?
yeah, it just kinda made me have some weight gain and made me diabetic and have sleep apnea.
Both which
It
require medical equipment and other, stuff.
Yep,
Yeah, yeah.
yep. So, like, mood stabilizers, to my understanding, it spikes your blood sugar.
Mm.
So, I'm not like, I'm my diabetes is in
So
remission.
you're under an A17, like A1C is under
A1C,
7?
yeah. Yes, it is. It's like 4 point something, I think. It's
Oh,
under
good.
5. It's like it's good. It was getting out of control in the past, like, 3 years ago, it was getting out of
Well, you
control.
probably didn't even realize why it was happening, right? Did
No,
you?
but 3 years
Yeah.
ago, I didn't have sleep apnea, or I had it, but I didn't have my CPAP or anything like that either, so that was also spikes your blood sugar too, not breathing properly.
Well, and breathing is also a direct like, the breathing's the sleep apnea is also a direct, result of weight gain as
Yep,
well.
yep. So all that kinda fell into place in the last, like, 3 to 4 years sort of thing, and they're all under control right now. It's just the weight portion of it that's the issue for me because of my medication. But I
Yeah.
am losing weight too, steadily now. But,
Good.
yeah. But I it's just like, if I've been, because some people go years finding the right cocktails of
Oh, I
medication,
know. I know,
and I
and
found it on the first dosage at 15 milligrams. Like, looking back now and just hearing other people's stories and all this stuff, I'm like, "That doesn't click with me." Like, that doesn't seem like it's my story. I feel like I was just labeled that based off of my experiences without truly opening up in past sessions of, like, therapy and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, trauma 100% presents itself like many different things, and I
Mhm.
think that we've become a society in which you get a diagnosis and you get a diagnosis and you're fucked up and you have a mental health disorder
Right.
and you have ADHD and you have this and you have that. And it is just a racket. And like, honestly, I just do believe that, like, with discipline and with awareness, self awareness and introspection and prayer and meditation and like humility, right?
Being calm, all that stuff, being out in
And
nature. Nature is
being
so healing.
grounding and
Yes.
also like not letting yourself spin out. Like, if look, I know I have OCD tendencies. Have I been officially diagnosed with OCD? No, but
Yeah.
it's clear I have.
I do too. Like, I
Right.
have to have things not, like, neat and orderly, but, like, I go through, like, obsessive thoughts.
Yes. Intrusive thoughts. Um,
Um,
things have to be a certain, like, sometimes I can't even do one thing without doing another thing first. I literally cannot, like,
correct.
and like it will paralyze me, right? And then so anyway, but like, can you imagine if I was just like, "Oh, I'm just going to go get another pill to help manage my OCD." Like,
Mhm.
no, because I've been able to now regulate, I can recognize when it's happening. I can override my
Thought patterns or something like that,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
I can and I can just be like, "Bethany, this is you not being regulated.
Right. And if you do the
Let's
opposite of what your brain's trying to compulsively tell you to do, and you be like, "I'm okay."
yes."
It's like, "What the hell, brain? Like, why you do this?"
Right. Well, it's because we've been in a heightened state of uh, trauma response, and
Mhm.
so our brain literally does not know what to do, and a lot of us in recovery or post addiction, we tend to actually get uncomfortable when things feel normal.
Yep.
And so we tend to seek out behaviors which would be sabotaging to our own peace,
Mhm.
because what's familiar is chaos. And so, yeah, like, and one could actually make an argument that if you have been an addict, then you have 100% been a narcissist. But I know 100% that I'm not.
I'm
So,
not though. Yeah, same here.
yeah,
Like,
but
I've
but
used people to get my way, but that's because
when you're in
I'm
addiction,
trying
you
to
are a narcissist
yes,
because the only thing that matters is your fix.
it's just you. And all you
Yes.
can think about is you.
Your own feelings,
You don't
your
think
own
about other people
pain.
or how your actions bleed into them and all that stuff. Like, you don't think
Yeah,
about
so
that.
but narcissism is so widely thrown around. It's like, no, people are just assholes. People are just like selfish. Yes, there are true by the book narcissists.
Mhm.
And I'm going to have an episode about narcissistic personality disorder and people who claim that they're empaths. I think that that is actually not the case, that they're actually, it's an attachment style and
Yep.
it's something that happened from their family dynamic of always anticipating somebody else's needs. And it's not actually you feeling someone else's pain, but you hoping that you're right about feeling what somebody else is feeling because that actually makes you feel better,
Mhm.
right? It's people who are really empathic are affected very negatively. It's not like a, ooh, I am so empathetic. I'm
I
such an
feel for you. I
empath.
understand what you're going through or what
Like,
have
yeah,
you.
I feel your pain, or like
You
I
really?
just feel I yeah. No, you don't. Like, you think you know. But anyways, so yeah, there's a lot of elements, and I think that there's so much to tap into here in this genre of podcasts. And maybe one of my mistakes is not having listened to other people's podcasts about this subject. I really don't want to be uh persuaded or influenced at all or even in competition with, right?
Right.
I just want it to be organic to me, how I feel like I would want to consume information, and like the audience will build itself. I don't really wanna do all of this promotional stuff. It's very weird for me. I don't wanna, like,
Yeah.
like, when you sent me your marketing card or whatever it was, I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And then you sent it to me, I was like, "Oh, yeah, I should probably have one of those."
Yeah.
Have I done that?
That's how I
No.
thought too. I thought the same thing when someone sent me one. I'm like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Should I have
Yeah.
one of those?" Might as well.
All right, Gina, who I named my ChatGPT, make me that's basically what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Uh, but because whatever. But yeah. Um, is there anything else that we're leaving on the table that
I don't think so. If we are, we can always circle back to another episode.
yeah, no, I'd love to be back and
You
I
know what I
really
mean?
will y- uh, I'm picking up what you're putting down, yeah. But yeah, so I would love to have you on and you are slated for the next round of interviews. I just did the second part with Karen. I have one last part with her,
Mhm.
and then we can schedule if you have time. If not, I can schedule somebody else,
Oh, I'll make
and then you
time.
could be after that. Okay,
I'll
cool.
make time.
Um,
As long as it's
so
after 6 on a weekday or anytime on weekends.
yeah, okay, and yeah, it'll just probably be broken up into parts, uh, because I do want it to be consumable, and I know that people have a hard time, you know,
Yeah. This one I might
staying.
have to put into parts. It's, like, almost 2 hours long, I think.
I know.
It's an hour 45.
I
It's the longest one
know.
I've done so far, which it's exciting. So I
Yeah.
gotta figure out how I'm gonna do this one. I might just do, like, 1 full episode and then just break it up into parts too.
Well, yeah, you can do,
I can do whatever I want.
clips
It's my
or whatever. Yeah,
podcast.
you could do whatever
It's
you
my
want.
podcast.
Yeah, like, when I remember, one of the phrases that some of the friends that I had in the drug world taught me, and I started picking up myself was, "What are you doing?" And they would always answer, "Whatever I want." And so then
Mhm.
I started doing the same thing.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I'm super, super proud of you, Michael. Thank you for having me on too.
Proud of
I
you too.
really do appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
Proud
Thank
of you
you.
too,
And I love
Bethany.
your story and I'm so glad you're still here.
Yes. I'm glad too. I'm glad we're almost the same years clean and stable and happy and living life.
Yeah, yeah, because
Just 1 year apart, but yeah.
one year apart and I think while I don't believe you can hack this thing called life, I think that we're actually in a position where we can really be grateful. And I think that I think maybe we have an advantage because we've suffered so much, whether it be unintentional or intentional or conscious or subconscious or whatever it is, like
Mhm.
the fact that we didn't turn into these sad, victimized people, and that we can actually look back and say, man, I was drugged to hell 10 times over, and I am still grateful.
Yes. I'm so happy every morning I wake up. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not a bed person. So, like,
I'm a bad
I know.
person.
So the second I'm up, I'm out of bed within a matter of 5 minutes, and I don't
Yeah.
touch bed again until it's time to sleep. But,
Yeah,
like,
no.
every day I'm grateful, and I've been thankful, just grateful that I am awake.
Mhm.
I
And
have the
and
love of my
you're
life next to
driving.
me.
Yeah.
I have a job I love. I have a business that I'm building that I absolutely love even more.
Yeah.
I'm meeting all kinds of wonderful people, both on podcasts and off podcasts. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a people person, I've found out. Like, I love connecting with people. I love talking to people. I love getting to know people and who they are. It doesn't matter what the conversation is. It could be as heavy as this conversation to as light as, you know, "Look at that fish in the pond."
Yeah, yeah, whatever.
What have you. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." It's just
Yeah.
finding the beauty, and I don't believe in bad days. This
Mhm.
took me a while to come to terms with. I believe there are hiccups and good days. There's always something good in
That's
a
a
bad
good
day. You just have to
mhm.
find it. You know what I
That's
mean?
a yeah, no, I
Um,
actually will have to put that in my bonnet and ruminate on that a little bit because I
yeah.
like that.
I've been thinking about that for a couple of years now, and unless I have a blind spot to it, I don't think there's anything bad to say about that. And I say that to people. I'm like, every day's a good day. They're like, "Is it really?" I'm like, "Yeah." I mean, there's bad things that happen, but if you look at it, there's good in the day too. And if
Yeah.
you focus on that good, that changes your entire mindset on life.
Oh, you optimist.
Yes. For someone that was addicted to suffering and negativity and all this stuff and
Yeah,
just
yeah,
being in
no, it's a
pain,
full 180.
it's a full 180.
And
And
I
it
love that for
it
you.
it was not easy.
No,
After
it's
that fog
not, and
lifted of
that's
the 8 months like I was previously talking about, and I
yeah,
just broke down crying because everything was quiet in my head. That's where the quiet mind comes from. That's where I
okay.
have a tattoo on the back of my neck that says "A Quiet Mind" too. But it's just
Oh,
striving for that inner balance of your mind of where everything's just silent
that will never happen for me.
and you're
I'm
just
like,
like, "It will happen for you.
no, my
Trust."
brain, no, 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 no. I have to embrace the fact that my brain will always be a traffic jam of just fucking like all the time. Like that is just the way I am. I
Mhm.
literally, like a quiet mind. What the fuck is that? I will never. It will never happen. Maybe. Okay, I should not say never, but like I can't even hope for
Even if
that.
it's for, like, 5 seconds, it's just gonna be it's just
You
like
know, you know what happened? That has happened to me about a couple times, and that was when I was in a full state of gratitude,
mhm,
and that is hard to achieve, and I think I talk about that too,
it
is that, like,
is.
gratitude is always something you wanna practice, but it is not our natural state to
It
be in
is
a state of
not.
gratitude, and so when you achieve that zen of just actually the being,
Mhm.
fully embodied in gratitude, it's just, like, the most peaceful feeling, so I
Yes.
guess I can relate, but it's only happened twice in my life, and
That's
I'm
fine.
okay with that, you know? I'm totally
That's
okay
fine.
with that.
My mind's not
Um,
always quiet either, but you know
yeah,
what?
yeah.
I strive for it, and when it is, I'm just like, "Let me just enjoy the moment." It
Yeah,
could be
good for
for 2
you.
seconds, it could be for 5 minutes. I'm just
You know
gonna
what, though?
take it in.
I do intend on microdosing mushrooms, and so, I did do mushrooms a couple times this last week, and the last time I did it, it was actually really, really great. I felt really, really good, like, good. So
Psychedelics, I don't know if mushrooms would count as psychedelics, but I know
they do.
there's a lot of studies with psychedelics where they're very the brain loves it
It's
in, like, a
therapeutic,
good way, yes.
and I believe that there is a way to repair those neural pathways that are zapped.
Mhm,
And that's kind of like my goal is to kind of taper off of the SSRIs and manage and hopefully repair my neurotransmitters so that I don't get those brain zaps anymore.
right.
That's what my goal is because that's just what my gut is telling me. That's what like God is telling me that like, yeah, there is something to that. I've been talking about brain zaps since before anybody even knew what the fuck they were.
Mhm,
And because people weren't prescribed antidepressants when I was 15. Like that
mhm,
was back in the 90s.
right.
So um, it's definitely something that I think needs more attention, especially with the, Department of Health and Human Services, or not the Department of Health and Human Services, but the Health Administration trying to get people to taper off their medications. I think that there needs to be far more research on the brain zaps being a withdrawal symptom and how long people are actually gonna have to suffer for that, because I'm afraid that it's gonna be lifelong
Right.
based on the damage I've done. You have a quiet mind, I have a loud mind, but we also have similar minds. So,
Mhm.
um, yeah, it's been a long conversation, so I will let you go.
Has been long.
And yeah, but a
And
good.
yes, it has been good. And just before
Yeah.
you get off, I do wanna say thank you again for being on the show. If this episode has resonated with anyone, leave a comment below, leave a review, share with someone else, or don't. Just do your own thing. Be kind out there, everyone, and just take care, everybody. Y'all have a great
Thank
day.
thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Take care.